Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's super near and dear to my heart: making money online. Now, many of you may have already made this shift to working remotely since 2020 in the pandemic. That's actually when I made my full switch over to having an online business rather than doing all of my work, which I was doing before, in person. I had to do all of my work in person because I was a makeup artist. So, in order for me to make money, I had to have my hands on someone's face. Now, I had this realization around 2016, which was almost 10 years into my makeup career, that if I were to keep up the pace of that career, meaning the pace of the number of days and number of hours that I was working and the physicality that was required of me working in New York City, I was going to burn out well before retirement. And this wasn't just something that I became aware of because of the aches and pains that were happening in my body, but I knew it because of what was happening to my friends, especially the friends that I had in the industry who were far advanced in their own career. So in 2016, I'll say, I started thinking like, oh, I better start figuring out a way to work where it doesn't require my physical body to be lugging gigantic luggage up and down subway stairs or to be standing for 10 out of the 15 hours of the day that I might be working that day. So the brainstorm began. After watching this video, I want you to be able to walk away with an idea of how you can start. Maybe a step 1, maybe a step 5 if you're already on that step. But I want to inspire you to start making content for a purpose. If you're already making content for a purpose, or if that's why you wanted to start making content in the first place, great, you're in the right place. Okay, so we will be talking about monetizing your YouTube channel, and not just through AdSense, but different ways that you can monetize the content that you're putting out there online. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're not trying to become a content creator for your next career or for even a side gig, this video will be relevant to you because we're going to discuss how it works to build an audience and how you can monetize your audience without sounding, I'm not trying to sound insensitive here, but how you can sell to the audience that actually wants more from you. This was something that I had a really hard time with in the beginning because I wasn't trying to feel like I was tricking people into giving me money, even though I would never do something like that. And I know you wouldn't either. It's just something that was in my mind. So I have a feeling it probably ran through your mind at least once or twice. So for me, the path to making money online started with a curiosity to get off of my feet. And I think that I did what any human would do looking to like take a different path with their career. I started searching on YouTube, obviously. And I don't even think that I found my first teacher, my first coach on YouTube. I think I found her as a guest on a podcast that I used to listen to. And I don't actually remember the name of the podcast. Anyway, she was talking on this podcast about building out your signature course online. I had no idea what a signature course even was, but the way she talked about what it would require from you to be able to get started in building this online business seemed like, okay, this is something that I can do. So I joined her group program and I learned how to create a course. The first course that I ever created, which actually never launched, was for makeup artists who were working in a different part of the industry than I was working in. I was working in the fashion and entertainment and advertising side of the industry. There's a lot of makeup artists working in events and in bridal and in just a different part, retail maybe. So my course that I had created was to teach makeup artists how to get to the production side of the industry. And The crazy thing is I must have worked on this course for at least 6 months and I never ended up releasing it. I never ended up trying to market it or sell it at all. To be completely honest with you, I'm pretty sure I didn't sell this course. Number one, because I was scared to sell this. This was going to be the first thing I ever sold online. And number two, I knew that by the time I was done creating the course, I did not myself want to be in the industry any longer. So this was around like 2018. So timeline looks like this. 2016, I got the itch to start an online business or to find out how I could do remote work online. 2017, I start searching for a coach, a teacher, a mentor, a course, something to teach me how to start building this online business, whatever it was going to be. 2018, I joined the course with my very first coach. And in 2018, and I know this because I was looking at the video archive that I have, and I saw that I had created marketing materials for this course. I created it was almost like a commercial. It looked like it was way before short form video was ever even a thing. And so I don't imagine that this would go anywhere except for on either YouTube or in a Facebook ad. And I don't actually know where I was planning on putting this video. It was like a 6-minute video, so it wasn't even like a short form video, but back then I think it would have been considered a short. So all of that aside, I continued to pursue this online business. And I signed up for Marie Forleo's B School, which now looking back on it, I understand how I just never finished that course. I don't personally have the attention span to just watch a bunch of pre-recorded videos and do this homework on my own. And there was something about the way that we were building out our online businesses on B School that I didn't fully understand. I don't think that was Marie Forleo's fault. I think it was my own. Maybe it was the ADHD, but I just had a really hard time. It was very complex for me to try and understand. And so I never made it all the way through B School. Yet another fail. Weirdly enough, it was right before the pandemic that I decided to go to coaching school to become a life coach. And I had no idea that the pandemic was coming, just like you had no idea that the pandemic was coming. I got certified in life coaching right as soon as the pandemic had the worldwide boom, or I don't even know what you want to call it, but I made the decision to shift this online business idea into the life coaching space after deciding to sign up for a life coaching program, not to become a life coach, but to learn how to coach myself. And so I became obsessed with coaching, life coaching at the time. And so I just dove in, like all in. I sunk a lot of money into my coaching career. And for a little while, I did experience some guilt and shame around it because once I exited that career in 2022, I was just feeling so lost and confused and wanting somebody to blame for having failed yet again in the online business space. Now, the first money that I actually ever made online was as a life coach. And I learned how to sell one-on-one coaching packages. And I actually did pretty well as a life coach. And I soon, from having become a life coach, started shifting into business or marketing coach. I was helping people to show up for their businesses by way of marketing and sales. And I had some group programs and masterminds, and I actually had a podcast with my old business partner. And all in all, I had fun in that space. And what I really, really learned how to do as a coach was I learned how to sell, how to build my personal brand, how to market, and how to run my business fully online. So in 2020, I still did have a few makeup clients here or there, because the pandemic broke out in around March. So I really had like maybe 2 months of still doing makeup and doing life coaching at the same time. And I think I might have had like a sprinkling of clients after the pandemic, but the majority of my money was already coming from my online business. I remember not even understanding what an opt-in or a freebie was, or a form, or like a landing page. All of that I learned from various courses, teachers, coaches, and of course, doing things myself. So in that space, what I am grateful for, as far as my experience goes, is learning how to sell and to market and to actually make money online. Now, I want to talk to you about what you could potentially do in order to start making money online or bringing your business digital. I have a client who actually came to me asking me to help her build out a digital product suite. And the first thing she said she wanted to create was an ebook. And I was like, okay, wow, way to jump in, you know what I mean? So she's describing this idea that she has about her marketing funnel and her business. Her business is an in-person business. And so for her, she wanted to start creating an avenue for extra income. And so their idea, and I don't think that it was her original idea, I think that maybe she had heard it somewhere or somebody had advised her to do this, was to write an ebook. And so when we had our very first consulting session together, I asked her about the ebook, and it turns out that she didn't want to write an ebook at all. It was just something that she thought she was supposed to do in order to start building out her digital product suite. And so she was super relieved when I gave her the permission, and she gave herself the permission to not write an ebook, because there are so many different types of digital products that she could create as far as freebies or paid digital products goes, that she doesn't actually have to create an ebook. I think ebooks are just really common in the online space, and that's why we know about them, but there are also different levels of digital products and different levels of selling. There's a few different paths to take here, and you can take multiple paths if you want to, so you don't have to limit yourself to just one. You could sell your knowledge, you could sell a service, you could also sell either digital or physical products online. And under each of these categories, there are so many different ideas, right? So many different ideas of things that you can sell. Under each of these 3 different categories, there are so many different things that you could sell and ways that you could sell as well. So I want to give you some ideas for each of the categories to see if anything sparks your interest. If you want to start selling knowledge online, you can sell courses, you can sell coaching or consulting. Actually, this is the space that I started in when I had started my online business journey. I decided that I was going to sell a course first, which is kind of a big undertaking. And now that you know that I didn't actually fully execute that plan, it might have been too much for me at the time. I did make my very first dollars online as a life coach. So I did sell coaching packages, and now I sell consulting packages. So I do a lot of knowledge selling and sharing here online. You could also sell a service as a freelancer or as an entrepreneur. You could sell services like graphic design, web design, social media management, content writing, photo or video editing, helping people to set up tech. You could do accounting services online, bookkeeping. You could do VA services. So many different types of services are available for you to just grab an idea and go. Selling a service online is great for anybody who wants to kind of stay behind the scenes. Even though I am going to suggest that in order to market yourself online, you start building out your personal brand. And of course, you already know you could sell physical or digital products. And you don't even need to sell your own physical or digital products. You can sell through affiliate links and through brand sponsorships and various other different ways. The moral of the story is there are so many different things that you could sell online in order to start making money online. And you could even make money online without having to sell anything if you do decide to monetize your social media presence or your personal brand. Now that I've said all of that, and that sounds like a lot, I want you to keep in mind that you've got to keep this simple. And this is the mistake that I definitely made in the beginning of my journey. I wasn't trying to keep it simple because I was really trying to replace my entire income that I had grown over the years as a professional makeup artist in production as fast as I possibly could. And a lot of us want to do this quickly. And what I will say is this, it is entirely possible to grow your online business quickly and start making money online quickly, but the more simple you keep this process for yourself, the more likely you are to actually execute and do the thing instead of staying stuck in the planning phase, which is something that I was notorious for doing in that very beginning part of my career. Because like I said, I probably had started brainstorming around 2016. I didn't make my first dollars until 2020. Okay, when I say start small and start simple, I mean this. I want you to think about something that you want to sell at first. So it could either be the knowledge thing, it could be a service, it could be a digital or physical product. Now, knowing what it is that you want to sell, I want you to remember that you're not only trying to sell to all those people out there on the interwebs, right? You have a network of people. Of course, you don't ever have to sell to them, but I highly suggest that you consider not just people in your own network, but people that your network might know. And if this is something like a service or your knowledge, it's quite easy to just let people know in your network that you are moving into this space. And if they know someone who might want your services, might want to join your course, might want to hire you, or pay for the knowledge that you're now selling, to just let them know what you're up to. So you're asking your network to help you here, right? And networking is of the utmost importance. And you don't have to do networking all in person. However, networking in person, of course, helps. But the more people who know what you do, what you're about, who you are, who trust you, the more chance you have at being referred by somebody in your network. So social media, it can have kind of this big concept around it that can seem overwhelming because it feels like we're talking to a giant crowd of people who we don't know. And if we're talking about Facebook, it could seem scary too, because it might just seem like we're trying to sell to a bunch of people we do know and we don't want to be selling to. So I want you to think about first, when you have already decided what it is that you want to sell, let your network know. No, you don't have to let all of your family or all of the friends that you have on Facebook from high school know. You can send out an email to professionals. If you are on LinkedIn, I would definitely start there, right? And just letting people know that this is just something that you have started doing can stir up enough interest for somebody to ask you to potentially jump on a call or ask you what it is that you are selling, what kind of services you're selling. Are you running a course now? Are you running any sort of program now? People are curious, right? And if you feel really icky about showing up in front of people you know, then what we're going to talk about next is starting to build your personal brand online so that the personal brand starts selling for you. Here's something that I have some experience with. When it comes to starting to sell online, if you do not have any sort of presence online at all, it's going to be a little more challenging to sell anything, right? This is why I'm telling you to start with your network first. But if that feels yucky, you don't have to do it. I highly recommend it, but you don't have to do it. Now, you do, when you start selling things online, either have to, number one, do things organically on social media, meaning create content and post it on social media, or do paid ads. The majority of us aren't out here with a ton of money that we want to start investing in ads with our first digital product, service, or course. So what I want you to do, even if you don't know who your niche actually is, I want you to start putting content out online that you are on this journey and inviting people to come on the journey with you. Why does this work? People love watching a process, a before and after process. So you, in this type of content, are in the before and after process. You're starting in the before. This is just a very easy way for you to get your footing without feeling all of the pressure of having to show up as the expert right away. Now, start here, start small and simple. Just talk about what you're doing, right? Like what it is that you're doing. I'm starting an online business. I'm going to be creating a course. I'm going to start selling coaching soon. I'm in this training program. I'm going to start opening up my online consulting agency, consulting business. Just like making the announcement online and starting to show up so that you start to build the habit of showing up online before you actually start selling anything. When I was coaching, when I was doing business coaching, and I was helping people to show up on video, there was a lot of resistance from a lot of people who had never shown up online. A lot of my clients who were over 40 were just feeling all of the things, right? Feeling cringy, feeling like they didn't look great on video. They were feeling awkward on video. And all of those things you have to work out before you try selling on video, right? You can start by writing. I highly suggest writing as a medium to start expressing yourself online because you can edit writing super easily without having to learn how to use a video editor or without having to take a lot of time out of your day to fix a couple of mistakes here and there. So starting to show up online, whether it be on video or in written content or in still imagery, is a great way to just start practicing the habit of showing up. Now, once you've gotten yourself on this roll of showing up and you're starting to see growth with your personal brand, with the content that you've been putting out online, this is when you, behind the scenes, have probably either created the digital product, created the offers that you're going to make as either a coach or consultant, or have decided on what the services packages look like for your online service-based business. You will start to feel that the traction is gaining and the momentum is gaining as well. Of course, everything that I'm saying to you right now is very much oversimplified, but I'm trying to give you what the pathway looks like from going from having zero online presence to making your very first dollars online. Now, if you're here on YouTube and you are waiting for your channel to get monetized, you could be waiting a really long time, or some people just monetize very quickly. If you're not somebody who's monetizing super quickly on YouTube, you could still make money with a smaller audience and not be waiting for your AdSense to kick in. And AdSense is very volatile, meaning like you could be making a ton of money one month and you could be making almost nothing to nothing the following month. So relying on AdSense as a stream of income that is sustaining your lifestyle in any way, shape, or form is a big challenge, and I do not recommend it. So if you're here on YouTube and what your intention is to build a community and build an audience base that is here for you, your knowledge, what you're sharing, then I want you to think about something that your audience is asking you for. Are they asking you for some sort of deeper support or deeper knowledge? Are they asking you for swag? Are they asking you for some sort of support or community support in between your YouTube videos? Even if you have 200 subscribers, think about what those 200 subscribers are talking to you about in your comment section. And from here, you can get some inspiration as to what else there is that you could potentially sell online. Selling to your subscriber base isn't icky when your subscriber base are the people who are actually asking you for the thing, the service, the knowledge, or the products. I am losing light super quickly, so I'm just gonna change my setup real quick and we'll be right back. We're back. I wanna share with you what my steps were in order to make my very first dollars online, because I want to see if I can break it down clearly and simply enough for you to be able to follow these steps. Or I don't want you to follow my steps. I want you to follow your own path, but I want you to understand that it wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't needing to write an ebook or make a giant course. It really was these other few things that I did that actually got me to start showing up in a way where people wanted to purchase something from me. The very first money that I made online, like I've said, was through selling life coaching. So first, what I first had to do was decide on what I was selling. Okay, so what I mean by this is, what did the package look like that I was going to sell? What journey was I going to take people on from before to after as a life coach? Now, this is all applicable to whatever you might be selling online, whether it be coaching services, a course, it could be even digital products or physical products, right? There's always a before and after. There's always like before the person had access to your knowledge, before the person had access to your products, and then after, what is their life like after, right? I had decided I was going to sell 6 months of coaching for X amount of money. And so I knew that, and I built out an offer. Okay, I built out that offer. Now, I needed to start showing up online in a way where I was a life coach. And I had been showing up online for years as a makeup artist. I had an Instagram account with about 7,000 followers who all knew I was a makeup artist and were following me because of my makeup artistry. And I had to make a shift from who I was being to who I was then becoming in order to start selling the thing that I wanted to start selling. At the very beginning, I started just sharing concepts and my opinions, my ideas, things that I've learned, transformations that I've gone through, the process of going from being a makeup artist to being a life coach, right? I had to start putting out content. And when I say putting out content, I mean, a lot of them were very long written posts. Sometimes it was lives on Facebook. A lot of this was happening for me on Instagram and on Facebook. And so it was a little while of me sharing what I was doing as a life coach for then people to start understanding, oh, she's a life coach. She's selling life coaching services, right? And the very first clients I had were people that came from my network. Now, I did write emails letting people know that I was going into life coaching, and it wasn't right away that somebody had bought life coaching services from me. I had to start showing up online, building a body of work online to build my own credibility up so that people would feel safe, because they were. I had gone through almost a year of life coach training in order for them to buy life coaching services from me, right? So I signed my first 2 clients almost within, I think, a month of each other. And number one, it was a real big sigh of relief. Number two, it helped boost my confidence. The way that I sold was through a consultation call. So I was inviting people to jump on consultation calls with me. And as soon as I sold those two very first life coaching packages, my confidence just shot way, way, way up. Now, I had to sell a bunch of these one-on-one life coaching packages to one-on-one clients before I got very comfortable enough to start doing webinars. I decided that I wanted to start doing webinars, and I felt super awkward doing them, but webinars were a great way for me to give a lot of value to people over an hour and to invite people to jump on a consultation call with me. Now, this led into starting to sell group coaching programs. I also had a free Facebook group. I've had 2 or 3 at this point, free Facebook groups in my time. I've sold group programs that were 3 months long, that were 6 months long. And it all started from me building up a presence on social media, i.e. my personal brand. We weren't using that terminology back then, but that's exactly what it was. And now that I'm saying this, I do realize that I had started building my personal brand as a makeup artist in 2012. So I had already been online in a very consistent way since 2012. I just had to go through all of the work of making the shift in people's minds from showing up as a makeup artist to showing up as a life coach. So for you, the way that this can translate is first start. Right? I know a lot of you are in my comments saying like, I just started, you're looking for topics to make videos on, you're frustrated because of all the things that we get frustrated about here on YouTube with the editing and in knowing the strategy that we should be following in order to grow our subscriber base. And what I will say is this, the most important thing that you could possibly do is make videos as a YouTuber, right? If you're somebody who's watching this who's not trying to be on YouTube, then I want you to either make short form videos or I want you to start writing, right? Like you have got to start showing up online as a thought leader, as an expert, as a service provider, as somebody who can offer the people who are watching you something, right? Because that is what's going to be the exchange with people for your first dollars that you're going to be making online. So keep it as simple as you possibly can. You do not have to write an ebook or make a whole lead magnet in order to start selling online. Yes, these are specific strategies and we can talk about these in the future, but if you're out here and you're trying to make your very first dollars online, then what I want you to do is start building your personal brand, thinking about what your offer is. And your offer could be, like I said, knowledge. It could be a service, it could be a digital or physical product, right? And so you're going to be talking about some sort of adjacent topic to whatever it is you're going to be selling, building up your personal brand around it. And then you're going to work into starting to sell either through consultation calls, either through invitations to a webinar or a click, like a link click if you're trying to sell through affiliate links. But you're wanting to put out a body of work that builds credibility around who you're showing up as and who you want to be in the online space. So I know I've said a lot in this video. I hope that you're coming away with an idea of like, oh, I can do this simply. I don't need to write an entire ebook or make a giant course in order to start making money online. I hope that you walk away thinking to yourself like, oh, I can do this. I can start showing up online to build my personal brand. And then once I get going on that and I feel confident and I can start making offers in a way that I feel confident in making offers, then that's the next step that you step into, right? It's not about rushing towards this big giant project that is going to take you forever to get started doing. It's about taking the smallest, most simple steps and starting to own the identity of being somebody who has an online digital presence and has a space online to sell something. If you don't already know, I am co-hosting a workshop for over 40 content creators and entrepreneurs who want to start building their personal brands online on March 4th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $27 to attend. We're capping it at 100 people. If you're interested, you can click the link in the description down below. And I'm just looking forward to being able to answer your questions and meet you face to face on this Zoom call that we're doing. So if you're interested, go ahead and jump down into the description, click the link in order to register and join. I want to know where you're at with the journey of making money online. Let me know in the comments. Are you somebody who's been working online and you're just over here trying to build your YouTube presence? Are you somebody who's trying to use your YouTube presence to build your online business? What part of the process are you on? I'm so curious. It took me a really long time to go from concept to execution. And so I hope to help make the process a little bit more streamlined and simple for you. And if you like this topic of learning how to actually get started making money online, let me know down below, and I'm happy to make way more videos on it. So thanks again for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.